go ahead and lead me into it.
Great.
I'm about to go live right now. 3, 2.
Okay.
Welcome to Western Ultimate League Week 5 action here at Fremont High School in Oakland, California. It's the San Francisco Falcons taking on LA Astra. I'm Jenna Weiner here in the booth with Lawrence McKendall. Lawrence, excited to be with you here once again for another exciting Falcons home game.
Thanks, Jenna. It is a beautiful day and a perfect day for Ultimate Frisbee, and I'm excited to see this game happen. I'm sure the fans are going to be here excited. They're filing in, and we're going to have a beautiful day for Ultimate.
Should be a fun one. These two teams met in week 1. The Falcons winning on the road in LA 16-10. But last season it was a back and forth nail biter, at least for a bit until the Falcons pulled away. Neither team making it to championship weekend in that crucial week 8 matchup. We'll see if this game has as much excitement as that one did last year. We're going to take a quick break, just under 10 minutes to go until the first pull. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the pregame ahead of the San Francisco Falcons taking on LA Astra. Lawrence, we're approaching halfway through the Western Ultimate League season. And already these teams this will be the Falcons' 5th game of the season already. Falcons sitting at 2-2 so far. LA sitting at 1-2 with the top 2 teams in each conference making it to championship weekend. It's going to be very important for both teams to pick up the win. The Falcons holding the initial tiebreaker over LA so far this season with that week 1 win.
Yeah, now that tiebreaker is great for the Falcons. LA needs to figure out if they're going to be able to get back into this contest, and it starts today. LA Astra needs to figure out who their identity is. The pieces are amazing. When they come together, there's some beautiful ultimate. Can they make it consistently through the whole game? It starts today here in Fremont High School. Let's see what happens for the Falcons. Right now, they are vying for second place. They want to be definitively in second place and make a statement. Get their first home win, but continue with the winning streak.
Yeah, Falcons so far having played all 4 of their games in the conference so far, 2 of those coming at the Super Bloom Beach Bowl back in week 3. Both San Francisco and LA actually going 1-1 down in San Diego, both falling short to host Super Bloom while taking wins over the Arizona Sidewinders. And again, pretty pivotal early going. Super Bloom sitting at the top of that Southwest Conference with a 4-1 record. And San Francisco 2-2, holding the tiebreaker over Arizona. Also sitting at 2-2, and LA sitting at 1-2. This isn't the only action that has been going on in the Western Ultimate League for Week 5. Earlier today, Colorado Alpenglow hosted their first ever home game, beating the Utah Wild, while San Diego Super Bloom went on the road to the Arizona Sidewinders. The game is either done or about wrapping up if you're jumping over from that game. Thanks for joining us. Again, I'm Jenna Weiner, and he's Lawrence McKendall. So, should be a good one. Teams are just getting warmed up, so we're going to step away for another quick break. We'll be back just about under 5 minutes to go before the start of the game. Welcome back to our pregame show before San Francisco Falcons take on LA Astra. Jen Weiner here with Lawrence McKendall. Lawrence, let's talk about some of the key players to watch for each team, some of the stats leaders. Let's start with the hometown San Francisco Falcons. For SF, their goal leader, Melina Wiebe, not active for this weekend, so instead Rachel Clarkson, player out of the Sacramento area, who's 8 goals so far this season, will be looking to step up, along with Marlena Luer with 6 goals so far, along with 5 blocks. Gina Schumacher already registering double-digit assists so far for San Francisco, and Julia Mankoff with 8 blocks already. Notably, also Nomidi Chang, who has 6 assists so far for San Francisco. But still, Falcons have spread the stats around so far. A few key stat leaders, but I wouldn't be surprised if pretty much anyone on this Falcons roster comes up with a few key plays at home.
That's a great observation. There are players that have definitely punctuated the blocks, the goals, the assists, but there's a lot of players that can definitely come up, step up, and make big plays, and definitely step into this highlight reel of a team. So yes, exactly. The Falcons are a wide roster, and not going to be surprised if anybody else is going to step up and seize the reins of the goals, blocks, or assists.
As for the visiting LA Astra, it's been a lot of the same folks for Astra so far through their 3 games. Chip Yen leads the way in goals with 8 goals so far, including a 5-goal performance down in San Diego. Jasmine Childress has 9 assists. Maggie O'Connor, 7 assists. Those 2 will be key to powering Astra's offense tonight. And Meredith Bile and Avalon Igawa with 7 blocks and 6 blocks each, leading the way for LA's defense. Notably, no Camille Wilson for LA tonight. She's out injured, not feeling 100%, so held out precautionarily. Makes sense getting to the midway point in the season for LA. What are you looking for from this Astra team? Again, having taken the Week 1 loss, but also notably Caitlin Weaver back for LA after missing Week 1 while she was busy coaching the UC Santa Barbara Burning Skirts at Stanford Invite in the college division.
Well, right now, LA is a very potent team. It's just coming together and just being as electric as potentially on paper, see how it translates on the field. They need to make it happen. They have the pieces. What I'm saying is, can they put 4 quarters together? There's lots of spurts and runs. They can put a full game together. It's very methodical. It's very basic. You put 4 quarters together, I think they can definitely be in the conversation at the end for a win, the end of this game for a win.
We've talked a little bit about the Week 1 matchup between these two teams, but the last time they were both in action was in Week 3 at the aforementioned Beach Bowl down in San Diego. And remarkably similar weekends, I would have to say, for both San Francisco and LA 2 weeks ago, both taking pretty heavy losses to Super Bloom while notching close wins against the heading into Week 3, the formerly undefeated Arizona Sidewinders. So what that tells me, at least, is that this is probably going to be a very even matchup, and I wouldn't be surprised if the margin is significantly closer than it was in Week 1.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. One of the things I wanted to point out is that the Falcons travel really well. They go into people's homes and wreck it. They win tight ones. Let's see if they can hold court. This is their second appearance. LA, let's see if they can come in and spoil the party. But the Falcons look really good. They're really comfortable. Their warm-up was really comfortable. And I think they're going to really hold court here. But let's see. We got to play this out. Roll the disc out, and let's see what happens.
Team starting to get ready for the opening pull. Falcons in black, LA in white. Seems like LA will be receiving starting on offense, while San Francisco will start this first quarter on defense. We'll see what the lineups are for each team. For LA, we see Caitlin Weaver, Maggie O'Connor, Jasmine Childress, Stephanie Pritchard, Chip Yen, all out there alongside Brittany Grimshaw, and one more. And for San Francisco, defensive line includes Pinwin Wong, Lily Stepanidis, Julia Mankoff, Eliza Chang, Jacqueline Wataoka, and Vivian Chu, apologies. And one more. Mankoff with the disc as we get set for the opening pull of the game. Mankoff putting the disc into play. Center field as Astra will start with the possession. Connor picks up center of the field. Childress near side. Field to Weaver. Childress just ahead of Mankoff. LA quickly to the doorstep, and it's Childress to Weaver. That is an opening quick hold for Astra. They lead 1-0.
Well, the LA Astra came out quick. They got in their horizontal stack, and they attacked. Big catch was part of the flow, as you're going to see in this replay. Nice hands. That big catch set up that assist.
Not too surprising to see Childress and Weaver and O'Connor all involved in the early going. Again, those three have been key, and can already tell that Astra probably missed Weaver's hybrid play in this Week 1 matchup, and it'll be a problem for the Falcons to solve, a bit different than that Week 1 matchup.
Well, LA demonstrated they can score quick, and that is nice to see. I'm sure the coach is happy, but those trio of players, I think we're going to be saying them a lot. The sun could be a factor here. If any big pulls going from our left to right, could be a factor for any deep cuts as the sun starts to set here.
Pull from Amy Halverson goes out of bounds, so San Francisco will get to start with the disc just past midfield. touch of wind here in Oakland, California, but not too much at the moment. Might see it pick up more as the sun starts to drop behind the horizon, but should be easy enough in the early going. Hammer Schumacher going between them as LA starts in a bit of a zone look and switches out of it to their person matchup. Pew looking for an option. High stall count, able to get the reset to Ting. Ting to Hammer. Near side. Falcons not far out. Pew able to get the disc back. Falcons just need one more. And it's Pew, the Schumacher, for the first Falcons goal. We're all tied up at 1-1.
Falcons looked really good in the red zone. Both teams, but Falcons running through their options, their progressions. Beautifully put.
Schumacher picking up an early goal. Falcons assist leader able to go either way. Schumacher noted to be a mixed-handed thrower, able to throw both right-handed and left-handed, although Schumacher tends to prefer the lefty, so keep an eye out for her to unleash a potent lefty flick or backhand later this game. So far, quick and clean for both teams. Like to see it in the early going. Teams getting a chance to settle their offenses in. No big blocks yet, but Mankoff almost had it on the opening point in that matchup against Childress. We'll see if Falcons can get the first break opportunity of the game. Shale Harris starting on the mark against O'Connor.
Falcons are showing a little junk D. See if they can mix up but slow down the offense of the Astra. Astra.
Childress able to find an outlet. O'Connor ripping it. Amy Lee. Oh, yeah, no problem. Classic bow and arrow celebration from Maggie O'Connor. Find the speedy Amy Lee for the Astra hold.
Both teams demonstrating they can score quickly. Maggie O'Connor, beautiful put deep. Finding Maggie O'Connor in space, I think, will be a big benefit for LA Astra. If they can find her in space, I think she can do more damage downfield as opposed to just being in the handler stack, and they did just that. Found her in space, and she hit a beautiful deep put.
O'Connor great at coming underneath and then unleashing those lefty hucks, that time finding Lee over the top. O'Connor noted as a true hybrid, which I think would describe her quite well, given her role both as a downfield option, but also able to put out those big throws for LA.
I don't know if it's a strategy to roll it out the side or it's the wind. I don't see much wind happening here, so it might be a strategy to slow down a fast-moving team.
Schumacher to Pew, center of the field, gets the Falcons moving. Astra person defense, low throw to Anderson, but caught. Julie Ting trying to get free in the backfield. Tries to go over the top, but miscommunication will give LA the first break chance of the game. 80 yards to go.
There was something in the system that just broke down. They were working a plan. Slight miscue.
Astra quickly to the far sideline, but block right back from Marlena Lure. And Anderson will put the disc back into play. Pretty up-tempo so far from both teams. Maybe a little too up-tempo. Lure not able to connect with Hammer. LA with another break chance. Astra operating out of a vertical stack look. Could tend to swing it back and forth for the time being at least.
Got the ace free. And a pick called. If a defender's obstructed on the cut, that is considered a pick. A defender needs to have free passage to guard a player.
That means that Bio will start back with the disc, but potentially some sort of violation called by Pew.
So it's interesting in WL, you have a 4-second pre-count, pre-stall, so the offensive players can move, essentially better chance to put the disc into flow rather than just a static start.
Flow working for Astra. Bio with the disc on the far sideline. And a combo layout block. Looks like that was Lure's second block of the game already. Once again, Anderson starting the Falcons off on that far sideline. Pew now with it, middle of the field. Schumacher, Hernandez-Flowerman. Hernandez-Flowerman over the top. 2 receivers in the area. Schumacher, 2 goals. Falcons hold. 2-all.
Falcons got in the flow. They look really comfortable. They figured it out, got in the flow. Beautiful score. Let's look at this.
Hernandez-Flowerman recognizing a couple opportunities deep, and Schumacher just the deepest of the 2 ahead of Lure. And not sure exactly what happened there for LA. Just getting a little bit mixed up, losing track of some players, allowing the 2 Falcons receivers to get open in the deep space. And just like that, Gina Schumacher on the board with a pair of goals early. And Lure unable to get the goal with Schumacher just ahead, but already with a pair of blocks as well.
Just look at the Falcons on the pull. They're loose. They're comfortable. They're liking the game. And they're saying, can we get a stop? Can we slow LA down?
So far, the pulls from right to left have been a bit short from both teams. Maybe that'll change once teams are able to pull, break chance one way or another. LA doesn't want that as O'Connor directs traffic. Somehow finds Lee. Lee laying out to secure the grab. Nice fake from LA. Back to O'Connor. O'Connor going nearly every other with Naomi Guzman in the backfield. Lee. Pick called. Disc will stay with Lee, guarded by Annie Chen.
LA Astra invert. Opened up spaces on either side of the goal. See them run their O. Big catch.
Low grab by Felicia Yang. Back to Lee. San Francisco's pushed LA back. Yang able to get free again. How about Mankoff? Nearly there for Astra. And O'Connor. Lefty, Pritchard, goal. All hold so far. LA up 3-2.
Really nice work in the red zone for LA Astra. Falcons were slowly tightening down, hoping that they were going to get a drop. Big catches were involved at. And what's part of that is when you get some of those little spicy, saucy backhand lefties, scoobers, that can definitely catch the defense by surprise and open up those bigger windows. Nice break throw by Maggie O'Connor.
The lefty flick coming good. Maybe taking Falcons Vivian Chu by a little bit of surprise. But all, again, pretty clean so far. Lawrence, not too bad. Few turns back and forth on that earlier point, but so far both offenses are humming, and we're just past the halfway point in this first quarter.
You're absolutely right. This is an offensive game. There has been no stop, so let's see if as the fatigue sets in, maybe the defense will start rearing its head, but the offense are feeling pretty good about themselves, both teams.
Again, a pull just going towards half field. Ting in the backfield. Schumacher with the throw to Saltzman. Anderson hucking.
Big look.
And, able to come up with the block is Annie No. That's an incredible block. It's incredible defensive play from No. Gives LA another break chance. Out going the other way. It's No. On the receiving end. Not to be. Rachel Clarkson there
that
to deny.
Was a beautiful play. A little float. They created some drama potential. I got a turn. All right. See if LA can capitalize.
Falcons perhaps moving a little bit too quickly off of the turnover. Halverson disc center of the field. Gets to Ogawa. Thinks about the deep look. So there's better disc with Havernack. Stuck a little tight for LA. Ogawa able to get it towards the near side. This is called in the hands of Maddie Shade. Astra. Thoughts that potentially Shade was out of bounds, but observers rule inbounds. Angled throw. That one, though, out of bounds for LA. San Francisco gets a chance to take their breath as they get another chance to hold. Pugh. Clarkson, near side. Schumacher.
Almost had Saltzman in the space. She's stirring the drink. Big look. We got a mismatch. Let's see. Someone wide open.
Over the top to Clarkson. Not quite in, though. Clarkson to Schumacher. That's 3 goals for Schumacher. That's about as easy as you can. Again, not sure what happened on the back end. Clarkson able to get wide open, and the assist then to Schumacher.
Sometimes those mismatches happen is that the defense is like we're all under and forcing a turn by the handlers, and you're hoping they don't look up and catch someone going free, and that's probably what happened.
Both teams a little frantic on that point, I'd have to say, but starting to settle in a bit, especially towards the end. Falcons able to take advantage, work some of the underneath spaces before Ting found Clarkson over the top. Again, Clarkson, I have to say I love the representation from around the Northern California area. Clarkson representing Sacramento. Love to see her getting involved early.
That's cool. Nice observation there. Yes, that's great that it's so the region is so big that they're pulling from.
Harris on the pull for the Falcons. Best pull we've seen so far all day, and Harris will put on the mark on O'Connor. Connor to Childress.
They definitely like to get Childress in space. Oh, let's see. I'm confident there's a foul on that one.
It's like a foul by Harris. No contest on O'Connor.
Looks like an uncontested foul.
This will stay with Maggie O'Connor on the far sideline. Lefty going over the top, high stall count. And Vivian Chu is in the area to make sure no Astra player got there. Now it's San Francisco with the chance to take first lead of the game. Secure the game's first break as well. Chu putting this back into play, marked by Yang. Harris. Sam Loop coming underneath. It's a drop from Vicky Chen. And Weaver goes to pick up for Astra. Team's taking no time. Sharon Zhang with the disc. Inside to Weaver. Tried to get the reception back to Sharon Zhang, but not to be. Falcons have, once again, pretty much the length of the field to work with. Chu going over to put the disc back into play.
Little give and go sauciness didn't pay up. Big look.
She wanted to try and find Harris over the top, not to be.
Works as a punt, too. Gets him out of the hot zone. Foul called.
No contest once again. Stephanitis, mark of Weaver.
Big
Harris with the block right back. And going deep again to
They
Stephanitis.
locked the matchup.
Stephanitis gets tall over Weaver. And timeout is called from the sideline. Head coach Manish Daryani for San Francisco calling it to secure the break. And we see
Wise. Very wise call.
Stephanitis just able to get the read over Weaver. And teams get 2 timeouts per half, Lawrence.
Yep.
We're at the end of the first quarter. San Francisco has a chance to break. And for those who may be tuning in for the first time, teams are allowed to fully sub their lines after a timeout. So probably going to see something akin to a San Francisco offensive line to try and convert the break opportunity. 15 yards outside of the end zone or so? Great call from the sideline, as we've seen before from head coach Daryani.
Absolutely. And then another unique thing about the WUL, there is no, in this particular part of the game, as long as, if the time runs out, as long as the possession is maintained by the offensive team, the play continues. So there's no shot clock involved in this. So with 40 seconds left, this could be a minute-long point. So right now, as the clock is winding down with 46 seconds left in the quarter, this is important. If the Falcons can get a break mark, that is great. This is very pivotal and a very advantageous call. And it was a long point, so now you've got fresh legs in as well.
Eliza Pugh set to pick up the disc to put the San Francisco offense back into action. Patricia Anderson
See if they do an ISO.
backfield. Trying to find Schumacher. Not quite in. Schumacher with the assist this time to Mila Hernandez Flowerman. That is a San Francisco break. They lead LA 4-3.
That's a nice ISO with Gina Schumacher. Put her in space, no one moved, and then they let her do her magic. That was beautiful.
Schumacher involved in all 4 of San Francisco's goals so far. 3 goals and an assist. Hernandez Flowerman with the other score just then, as well as 1 other assist to Schumacher. And with the way that these quarters set up, the teams alternate who starts on offense in the ensuing quarters. So the Falcons started on defense to start the first quarter, which means that they will start on offense to start the second quarter. So getting this break late in the first quarter could prove very advantageous if they can build on it with a hold to start the second quarter. And we'll see how Astra respond here. Nice pull. Maybe there has been a bit of wind. That pull really carrying going left to right as opposed to the other pulls we've seen going right to left across the screen. Weaver centers to Childress.
They're attempting to get Maggie O'Connor in space.
Connors was deep. Comes under. Gets the reset from Sharon Zhang. Nearly a block by Mankoff. Disc is back in the hands of O'Connor. Sang.
Astra have a plan. They're working their red zone.
High stall count. Nice switch from SF to pick that up. Low throw. Dug out by Weaver. Great grab. And UC Santa Barbara product. O'Connor far sideline. Time has expired. So this will be the final possession, the final score. Connor with another assist to Weaver. It's tied up at 4-4 at the end of the first quarter.
Caitlin Weaver was all over that last point, and it really started with a great grab, going down and catching that disc. Preserves the possession, preserve the score. That was a major part of that score. Congratulations. That was a beautiful point. Nice red zone by LA Astra.
Defense faces.
Welcome back to Oakland, California. We are at the end of the first quarter. LA Astra and the San Francisco Falcons tied up at 4-4. San Francisco getting a late break in the first quarter, so they will be up a break as they start the second quarter on offense. Lawrence, what did you see from San Francisco there towards the end of the quarter as they were able to convert that key break opportunity?
Well, you just said it. It was a key break opportunity. Not only they got a stop, the Coach Dariani, had the wherewithal to call the timeout, seize the opportunity to really get the break, and that was great. That was great to see. A lot of momentum. Love to see that. And let's see. Falcons are coming out on offense. See if they can capitalize on that. That's great. But what I saw that break was beautifully executed.
So we are tied up, but Falcons holding the initial advantage. Gina Schumacher all over it for San Francisco in that first quarter. 3 scores and an assist, contributing directly to all of San Francisco's scores. As for LA, Maggie O'Connor with 3 assists. Kaylin Weaver with a couple of goals as well. So LA puts the disc into play, although pull goes just out of bounds. So San Francisco will be able to start with the disc in the middle of the field.
Getting Mara Saltzman and Gina Schumacher in space has paid dividends a lot. Let's see. Mara's in this lineup.
Schumacher and Saltzman far side of the field to start. And zone look from Astra immediately to start the second quarter, trying to generate an immediate break chance. Falcons able to hold on to the possession so far. Hammer up to Lure. Hammer far sideline still. Schumacher.
San Francisco in red zone.
It's 10 yards out. Julie Ting coming across to the center of the field. Pugh not quite in, but nearly there. Inside throw. Floaty. And it's a block from Astra.
That was big. Big. I know the Falcons were saying cha-ching, cha-ching. They thought they were going to ring that up. LA makes a big stop.
Looks like that was Avalon Agawa with the block. One of LA's leading block getters coming to this game adds another one to her tally. Audrey Brown, floaty throw to Bile.
To know thy receiver.
Bile far sideline. Sets to Brown. Halverson center of the field. Agawa near sideline. And tries to connect with Bile on the deep throw, but not quite there.
LA demonstrated their adeptness to go coast to coast. They got in the flow. Now, can San Francisco do the same? Go coast to coast. It's always tough. You're ringing on the doorstep. Now you're at your end zone having to march down the field.
Falcons having to work into the sun, the full length of the field. LA shutting things down pretty well so far, but Lure able to get touch of space. Schumacher near sideline, over the top.
Good
looking
look.
for Hammer.
It floats.
Hammer able to out-read Amy Halverson. Pugh. Hammer. Schumacher now Falcons moving pretty quickly, but stall count has to be rising. And sure enough, Schumacher finds Pugh. Again, another floaty throw. Hammer able to come down with it on the second effort. LA almost able to get the block, but Hammer with the goal for San Francisco. They lead 5-4.
They went coast to coast. That point, both teams went both sides of the field. Very poised. Good energy. Comes down with big catches. Big catches made that happen. A lot of poise. And then sometimes at the end, a little touch of the disc. Got to play the carom to score.
Halverson nearly came up with that, but Hammer able to maintain position and maintain concentration. That's the first point for San Francisco that Gina Schumacher has not been directly involved in with the goal or an assist, although Schumacher helped open things up for San Francisco as they worked their way down the field.
She was all over that point. You're right. She didn't get the goal, but she definitely facilitated. She stirred the drink.
Shadows getting long here in Oakland as we've just passed 6:30 p.m. local time. Thank you for joining us this evening for this Week 5 Western Ultimate League action between San Francisco Falcons and LA Astra. Good game so far. A few minutes into the start of the second quarter. LA trying to work at the full length of the field for the second quarter hold.
This is such a fun game. I love this vibe. Beautiful setting. The weather's great. The fans are chill. This is awesome. Oh, big look.
And you have Maggie O'Connor unleashing a look. Stephanie Pritchard there to receive it. Suddenly, LA is on the doorstep. Pritchard needs an outlet, though. Finds one in Sang. Sang near side. Childress. Childress attempts the inside throw. Contact.
So one of the questions is, was it catchable? Was it part of it? Did they have a play?
It's like Annie Chen involved just colliding with Brittany Grimshaw. There's some discussion about the contact on the throw from Childress.
This is an interesting sort of situation because LA scored. So does it go back? Did they let it go through? LA scored. This is really, it's probably going to be, let's see how it's decided. Does it go back or does the score stand? A nuance of ultimate frisbee is the conversation, the discussion. They throw it to the observer to make the call.
And it is a goal. O'Connor with the reception from Childress in the end. Players still talking it out, though. I think just trying to make sure that everyone feels safe. Might have been a situation there. Hard to say. Curious what you think, Lawrence, of Grimshaw just stopping short to try and get the position. And Annie Chen just sort of colliding on the effort, not realizing that Grimshaw had stopped so short there.
This is two athletes. It was a bang-bang play. There was no ill intent. Just two athletes trying to make a play. And I think it was incidental. Though if you're the offensive player and you think you had you might have a beef. But I think at the end of the day it was incidental. And I think the observers came in to make the right call. The score stood. It was good.
Definitely a question sometimes when it comes to players suddenly stopping their momentum or having a change in momentum. Over the years, I know that you and I have both seen plenty of what can often sometimes be dangerous plays where players suddenly change direction the way that a defender or offensive player isn't expecting. There, luckily, doesn't seem like there were any major injuries there. Chen and Grimshaw both able to walk off. And Astra hold. And the Falcons are trying to do the same. Pugh with the disc, center of the field.
It's an interesting thing you talk about dangerous play. I don't think that was a dangerous play, but that can come in the context of really looking at examining the play critically. That element. Was it a dangerous play? Big look. They like the matchup.
Over the top, Hernandez Flowerman there for the score. Pugh with another assist as the Falcons hold and lead 6-5.
Really nice. Their Falcons are looking very comfortable. They're marching down the field. They saw their mismatch. They got it was a nicely touched throw. This is beautiful. Just to go back to the a nuance of ultimate frisbee is there is a dangerous play component in there that comes into the context of some things, and sometimes the observers have to make that distinction. But bang bang incidental plays tend to be, you just sort of just go, okay, it's all good, let it go. It had nothing to do with the play.
And that last play between Chen and Grimshaw seemed to be more body to body, but I've certainly seen plays where a player is attempting to make a bid at it and ends up going through another player's legs, which that can really be potentially dangerous.
Absolutely.
So again, luckily everyone playing pretty safe so far. Childress trying to find Weaver, not there. Vivian Chu getting the block for San Francisco, and the Falcons with a quick strike chance, but out of bounds. Might be a little tough to see, but the yellow cones that you can see by the feet of Chu and Pritchard do mark the out of bounds. Chu, nice heads up block, but unable to reel the disc in bounds on the ensuing offensive possession.
High stall count. Ooh.
And Childress just able to get to the disc. Blady throw. Weaver tries to bid back for it, but unable to. Jacqueline Wynn defending Weaver. Disc back with the Falcons. And Weaver gets Wynn right back. That's a fun matchup of two former college stars.
Awesome.
Jacqueline Wynn at local UC Berkeley. Weaver at UC Santa Barbara.
That was a great layout.
And LA another chance to hold. Pit called.
Pick called on the field.
Astra stacking a little cluttered.
LA trying to get in a flow in the red zone.
Weaver. Oh! Jacqueline Wynn! Layout block. Those two. That is a fun matchup. Weaver and Wynn
we got
laying out against each other.
Yeah. Look, guess what we got going on.
Floaty throw. And out of the reach for San Francisco. Not able to take advantage of the break chances so far. But some fantastic plays, in particular from Weaver and Wynn. LA with another chance to hold disc back in the hands of course, Weaver working in the backfield with Guzman. Lee, Guzman. Back to Lee. Head to Guzman, just able to track it down. An inside throw to Felicia Yang. Astra 10 yards out from a hold. Stall count rising. Timeout call.
Good. I was going to say, we had some tired legs out there, so that was a wise call.
LA calls time from the sideline. And Weaver tries to get up the field. And Wynn says no way. Able to get in front of it, but Astra in position, a timeout taken. We are getting towards the later stages of the second quarter, so Astra with two of their timeouts, using one now with 4 minutes still left to go. And at this point, very back and forth point. To your point, you can sub after the long back and forth. So really important for LA to try and get this hold. They do not want to give up another break, again, late in the quarter to San Francisco.
Yeah, it's a wise timeout. They were definitely long. It was a long point. You got tired legs. The throws are getting a little sloppy, a little wobbly. So that was noticing, but that was definitely a wise position, a wise call strategically. But that back and forth with the defense, the college rivals, you're saying they're coming out and playing. I love this Kobe being Kobe.
Jacqueline Wynn, a.k.a. Kobe, a Callahan winner when playing with California Pie Queens. As for Caitlin Weaver, a Callahan Award finalist in 2020, not able to quite get over, but making the national semifinals in 2021 with the UC Santa Barbara Burning Skirts. And Weaver still on the field for LA. Looks like Wynn may have subbed off. O'Connor 5 yards out, pick called.
Pick call on the field.
Connor standing 7 yards out with the disc. Pre-stall coming into play, allowing both teams to reset. Chip Yen working with O'Connor. Yen gets up for it, not quite in though.
Oh.
And it's Chip Yen to Maggie O'Connor. O'Connor with another goal as LA ties it back up 6-all.
Beautifully executed red zone. And you get into sort of the death zone right in that 2-inch mark. That can be tough, but they did it. They worked it nicely.
She's working hard to try and stay with O'Connor, but just getting pipped on the up line cut. O'Connor stomping on the stomp rock. One of Astra's very appropriate, I think, sideline celebrations after their goals. And pretty good game so far. We've had Lawrence, just over 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, all tied up at 6-all. SF with just the slim 1 break advantage.
No, it's a fun game. This is such a fun game. I love the vibe. And just to talk about from a coach's standpoint, you love to make a timeout call and your team responds based on the timeout call. It's always awkward. You get big plans in a timeout and then the other team scores. So that was great execution by LA off the timeout.
Halverson floats the pull out for LA. San Francisco working out of the side stack and find their first downfield receiver in Hammer to Hernandez Flowerman, far sideline. Clarkson cuts across, not there. Anderson, layup block! Again, it's Cameron Helm this time.
LA in flow. Oh!
And just out of the reach. Halverson searching for Marty Martinez.
It's like you don't want to give Astra getting comfortable and giving them free shots at defense. Now they're going to feel really good about themselves, and they're going to think they can tee off on you.
Fantastic.
Falcons got to prevent that. There you go.
So it's a block from Helm, and it's a quick short field turn. Brown, floaty, Helm, oh yeah.
That's what I mean. They're feeling good. The window is wide open.
And that is a quick LA break, short field. Brown goes, picks up, this puts immediately into play, fools the camera person, and Helm on the assist. We'll get it from another angle.
That's like one of those things. She'll be in the lobby signing autographs after that one. She'll have a book deal and a movie deal after that throw.
Pretty cheeky to go for the high release
serious.
against the much taller Hammer,
God.
but Brown able to make it work anyway.
Oh.
And Helm getting both the block on that point and the eventual goal. Not quite bookends after the exchange of possession in between, but near enough for LA. And just like that, we're back on serve. LA up 7-6 on San Francisco.
Wow. Yeah, that was really cheeky. Those are one of those ones is like, is that as called? Do they practice that or just the player's feeling it? I'm just feeling it. Sorry, coach. Baller has to ball.
Made it work against, again, the much taller Hammer.
Yeah.
And Helm was ready for it, so you can't fault him.
Recognize the matchup. Sure. Know that receiver.
Falcons starting in a bit of a spread. I want to say horizontal stack, but almost look like a split stack to start. Pugh underneath, layup block, Agawa, another block. LA with a second consecutive break chance.
LA is quick to it.
And just not quite able to make the connection. Havernack not able to connect on that final throw.
LA is feeling it.
Watch it again. Agawa seen those time and time again from Ogawa. Just adding to her tally for Astra. But San Francisco, another chance. Ogawa again. No
Clean.
foul call.
No deep. Wow.
2 layout blocks for Ogawa. Conservation of greatness, Lawrence?
Yeah, no, great point. Conservation of greatness. You know, half the fans probably muttered that. Oh, big look, big punt.
Julie Ting trying to find Mila Hernandez-Flowerman. Just out of reach.
Conservation of greatness, absolutely. That was funny.
Clock's ticking down under a minute, and timeout called. LA with a break chance.
Wise.
Getting a bit frenetic from both teams. LA using their second and final timeout. Just under a minute left with a second break chance. I want to go, though, Lawrence. Oh, my goodness.
Look, you know, it's funny. Comebacks, rallies, excitement starts with big D stops, not O stops. D stops are where the rubber meets the road, and that's where you get every excited, like, look, I'm here to ball. You going to follow me? And LA's responding. Those were big layout Ds.
One of a number of players who played together with the new, as of last year, club women's team, San Diego Flipside. A number of these LA players, along with a number of players from San Diego Super Bloom, playing together in a super team, as it were, in SoCal. Making it all the way to the quarterfinals before falling short to the Northern California Giants, San Francisco Fury. But I'm sure we'll see Ogawa and the rest of the Flipside crew back at it again this upcoming club season, which somehow is already right around the corner since we're already somehow into April.
Hey, Flipside's strong. I mean, they were right in Fury's grill. So, yeah, that's definitely talking about club. That's a team, definitely a super team excited to watch representing SoCal. But Fury's being Fury. But back to the action here. Let's see if LA can respond, or can the Falcons close out the quarter with the half with the score.
Childress with nearly an incredible layout grab, but not able to get there on the pass from O'Connor. And just like that, Chu going over to put the disc into play for San Francisco. Far sideline finds loop middle of the field. Off the chest of Harris.
The sun can play a factor in that.
Sun can play a factor. Wind might be gusting a little bit as well. See if LA tries to hold on to possession as we are under the last 30 seconds of the quarter. Weaver now with the disc on the far sideline. Finds Sang. Cramped quarters for LA. Able to get it free. O'Connor, middle of the field. Back to Weaver.
LA looks really comfortable.
LA more than happy to just let time run off the clock. Not quite in for Chip Yen. LA on the doorstep. Time has expired, so this will either end in an LA score or a turnover. Pritchard just able to hang on to it. Nearly a drop. Just a couple yards out. O'Connor again. Oh, yeah. Another break for LA. Takes us to the end of the first half. That is back-to-back breaks for LA. They have an 8-6 lead at the end of 2 quarters.
You know, sometimes when you get into sort of the death zone, you're 1 foot away from the goal. You could be 500 miles away from the goal. It's just so tough. The LA Astra looked great. They were poised. They moved it around. They were not flustered by the time running out. Really nice score.
And after San Francisco had gone an end of first quarter break to give them the initial advantage, it's LA with the back-to-back breaks to end the second quarter. We're going to take a break, go to half. We will be right back in just a little bit for the start of the second half.
defense faces.
Being a member of the Castoro Cellars Wine Club is truly a unique experience. Not only do members get access to our best wines, they become part of our extended family and play a huge role in the way we run our business and make our wines. Being a member is fun, exciting, and informative. We work very hard to make sure our club members receive our best wines in their shipments, along with detailed information from our owners, winemaking team, and tasting room staff. There's never a shortage of entertainment at Castoro, and our members are always kept in the loop and taken great care of. From member-only events to Whale Rock Music and Arts Festival, our club encourages you to live life to the fullest. We invite all to join, from the wine connoisseur to the casual wine drinker. For us, it's about sharing our passion and love for making damn fine wine. Join the club and join the family today.
I really want to show young girls that they can be athletes too. I've struggled with imposter syndrome, and I've really had to ground myself in why I play. I play because it's fun. I like to compete. I like to show it with my teammates. I like to push myself to be the best. And I think being out there and doing that for them and having other people see and potentially think that, hey, that can be me one day, that's really exciting.
I know I've struggled in my own life to take up space, and I think that it's so amazing that the ultimate field has changed that for me. That I can get out there and I'm no, I know I am a good cutter and I know what I need to do here and I know my role on the team. And I think that it's just helped me open up so much. It's also led to more confidence for myself, and I really want for other women and non-binary folk to see that, oh, they're out there doing this. How do I get into that? What does that look like? What's my role there?
I really liked a combination of both endurance and shorter, more competitive sprints, and then also going up directly against players. And I think that also is what attracted me to Ultimate as well. Understanding what you're capable of doing is just a really great experience that kind of drives you to just get better at those individual skills in sports.
My Ultimate story, I've been fortunate to have coaches and friends and the community to encourage me to be the player that I am today and ultimately fall in love with the sport of Ultimate. So I hope that the Western Ultimate League, like this program we have today, Open Side, we continue to connect and welcome new fans and future players and continue growing this community that we all love. I think hopefully one day that someone will fall in love with the sport as much as I love it.
I think that's the biggest thing for me, is just knowing that we're giving an opportunity and visibility to the sport for young women. It's the best thing.
One more time.
Oh,
yeah! Oh yeah!
baby!
Cody! And welcome back to Oakland, California for this Western Ultimate League Week 5 action. San Francisco Falcons hosting LA Astra. Astra holding an 8-6 lead at halftime. San Francisco up early with a late break in the first quarter, but Astra able to grab back-to-back breaks of their own to take the halftime lead. I'm Jenna Weiner here in the booth with Lawrence McKendall. Lawrence, fun game so far. Back and forth, pretty clean early on, a little bit of nerves, but then block party. Avalon Nagawa, oh my goodness, for LA. Incredible.
Block party, yeah, absolutely. It got exciting. So the athletes stepped up, and we know there's athletes all over the field, but it's exceptional to see when athleticism puts out and the law is laid down. No. I want to point out, halftime, I guess you talk about, is it going to be a TED Talk halftime or a TED Chill halftime? And LA, I think, is in a TED Chill halftime. We like what we have and like what we see. We're just going to keep on rolling, and it might be a big TED Talk conversation with the Falcons. What's going on? This is the origin of frisbee. This is what the plan is. So we'll see if they come out loose and excited or a little bit tight. We're going to see what happens here in the second half with the Falcons.
Well, and Astra get the advantage of starting the third quarter on offense. So if they're able to convert in sort of the more classic way, if we think about Ultimate being played to a point cap and half being taken at 7 or 8, and oftentimes in those point-capped games, it's a situation where if you can get a break going into halftime and then hold out a halftime as well, you're in really great position. Astra are going to look to do just that coming out of this halftime after those back-to-back breaks at the end of the second quarter. Your stats leaders for both teams so far: Gina Schumacher, 3 goals and an assist. Eliza Pugh, 3 assists, and Marlena Lure with a couple of blocks to lead the Falcons. As for LA, Maggie O'Connor, 3 goals, 3 assists so far for O'Connor. As mentioned, Alanagawa, 3 blocks to lead the way on the defensive end for Astra. So some of the big name players that we were expecting to be involved have done so. Also, Caitlin Weaver with a couple of goals. Again, we were talking in the pregame that Weaver wasn't available week 1 when these two teams played in LA. Can already see in the first half making a big difference so far for Astra.
That's a great observation. It's always interesting when you talk, there's 7 players on the field. Can one person be that impactful? A lot of times that impact happens not in big catches on the big D's on defense. That can emotionally lift a team, anchor a team, and allow it to move forward. So yeah, it's one player can make a big difference, as we're seeing.
Falcons making their way back out onto the field, while Astra look to already have a line pretty much set up, ready to go into the sun. Sun is definitely starting to set, though, here at Fremont High School in Oakland, California, nearing 7 o'clock local time. So we're going to have some Ultimate under the lights in the closing stages of the second half of action. Lawrence, is there anything you're particularly looking for from San Francisco as they look to respond from this halftime deficit?
So I wanted to point out, because you talked about the sun setting, the sun's going to be a factor going one way. So looking into the sun as a receiver could definitely be, that could be the 8th player on the field. What I want to see to your question is, can the Falcons respond? Because you can walk out a little rattled because you're feeling good about yourself. We think we got this game figured out. And all of a sudden, whoa, you let the other team back in. You let them figure it out. So let's see they respond. This can be a league. Ultimate Frisbee can be a game of runs. And you just right the ship and you go back on. Let's see if they can step up, take the challenge, and go right back at LA and level this game.
Well, and I was talking about the break-hold pairing on either side of halftime. An immediate break out of the halftime stoppage for San Francisco would definitely give the Falcons a boost, and especially in front of this home crowd. The bleachers here at Fremont High School starting to fill up. Love to see the support from the San Francisco Bay Area Ultimate community.
Absolutely, and your observations are definitely correct. You know, the breaking in this game, when the defense stops the offense from scoring, that is considered a break. That is instrumental, and it's the Falcons' turn. Can they get a break? Can they impose their will? And they got the hometown. Can they give the hometown what they want? Is a W.
Astra set to receive. Falcons set to pull. And Harris will put the disc into play for San Francisco. Low sliding pull. Centering pass to O'Connor. Gets our second half here in Oakland underway. O'Connor up to Childress. Back to O'Connor. O'Connor near sideline, marked by Harris. So come Rising Sharon Zhang, able to get free. Weaver not able to get to it. Disc just maybe having a bit too much angle, not able to carry all the way out towards Weaver, and just like that, disc settles next to the pylon, and Vian will pick disc up to start the Falcons on this potential crucial break chance. Commentator's curse. This goes right through the hands of Stepanidis.
Commentator's curse, exactly.
Connor goes over.
Deja vu again.
Marked by Harris. Floaty. A little confusion. A little dangerous, but it's a goal nonetheless. Brittany Grimshaw on the reception. A little bit of confusion at the front. High stall count potentially. And O'Connor happy to maybe get away with it a little bit on the throw to Grimshaw.
A bit uncharacteristic of LA Astra in the red zone because they make it so easy there. But I want to say that the flow in that first part of that point that turned to be a turnover, I'm sure Coach Subert was very happy because you got the off-handler going down the line, power position, saw their open player, little bit overshot, but you'd love to see that they're able to do their offense, get people open. They got a big stop, offensive D, got their stop and converted.
And LA now with a 3-goal lead over San Francisco as they hold to open the second half. Halverson, another hanging pull for Astra. And LA's quick to get down there on the reset, and it's immediate block. Audrey Brown on the pass intended for Schumacher. Schumacher now on the mark on Helm, and it's a block back from Pugh for San Francisco. And the Falcons will reset back on offense. Pugh inside to Schumacher. Up to Lure. Back to Schumacher. Hernandez Flowerman over the top. And Hammer is able to get there in front of Agawa, who is hunting for fourth block. There it is! Incredible! Fourth block of the game for Avalon Agawa. And everyone seems to be stunned as perhaps a timeout was called after that mind-bending Igawa layout catch block. Timeout will keep the disc with LA. It's a matter of when it was called. And I think we might be getting another look at this Igawa catch block. Just able to read.
Let's say preservation of greatness. I mean, part of that is you make a great catch, and all of a sudden you think that window's so open, but in the red zone, those big windows are not there. It's almost an illusion, and there you go.
Just absolutely reading the eyes of Lure. Lure trying to get the disc back to Kara Hammer, but Igawa says, you got me on the deep shot, but you're not going to get me this time around. Oh, my goodness.
On some level, you're going, they're not going to throw it. They are going to throw it. Well, thank you very much. I'll take this. I'll see you deep catch, and I'm going to stifle your goal shot. So that was great.
Just incredible awareness from Agawa, who, if you see Astra play zone, you often notice that Agawa tends to be the deep. It's because of her awareness of space and reading of the disc and reading the throwers that she's able to anticipate and rack up so many blocks. Already, by my count, at least 4 blocks so far. And we're just a couple minutes in to this third quarter.
That nuance to just describe in a game as a player is an amazing secret nuance. If you're able to know space, put yourself in position to get the blocks, yeah, it's a really high-level skill.
After the timeout, contested stall call. Chu on the mark against O'Connor.
They must have tapped the disc in at 5.
Did seem a little bit quick. Contested stall will go back to observer ruling no stall, so disc will actually stay with Childress. She going to the observer, seemingly, but not working in our favor. Childress to center of the field. Astra with the break chance. Childress, O'Connor working in the backfield. Sang is the outlet on the far side of the field for Astra. Pick called.
Simon Margolis is one of the observers, and the other one today is Tyler Bacon, both very skilled ultimate players in their own right.
Helping the game keep moving along. After the pick call, disc will stay with Sang on the far sideline. Low throw. Childress there over the top trying to find Weaver. And just out of reach. The two UC Santa Barbara teammates, former teammates, nearly connecting on the pro field once again.
LA's getting it. LA's going to get it. They're not playing. And the Falcons right now have to keep them from going forward. You want to go east-west, stop them going from north-south, up and down the field. But right now it's the Falcons' turn going the length of the field.
Chu finding Stepanitis for the reset. Back to Chu, marked by O'Connor. San Francisco trying to get it out of their end zone, able to do so. Liza Chang trying to find Georgia Cardosa, not able to connect. And LA just 15 yards out, and of course O'Connor picking up the disc, connecting with Weaver. Weaver. Oh, nearly. Jasmine Childress just off the hands.
Saucy break throw to a wide open cutter. Little bit too much spice on that one.
To your point, though, Astra maintaining the pressure. The Falcons haven't been able to generate the momentum they need on this point to really get some downfield flow outside of that earlier opportunity that was snuffed out by Agawa.
So right now it is Falcons getting a space. Good.
Up the line throw, Annie Chen.
Getting to that next level has been a challenge for the Falcons.
Chen underneath, Pinwin Wong getting involved, and the low throw can't quite find Cardosa. Cardosa nobly making her debut for San Francisco tonight, so trying to make an impact in her first time seeing the pro field this season.
LA feels really comfortable. If you go immediately to the reset, you feel really comfortable working the system.
Low throw from O'Connor, but Weaver once again able to dig it out. Injury called, and Cardosa walking off. Looks like she was maybe holding her ankle. Hopefully she'll be all right. And Harris comes on.
I was talking to Coach Zubair, the LA Astra coach, and talk about what's his secret sauce to the LA Astra. He's like, work the system, work the plan, and LA is working the plan very effectively.
Pre-stall count. Grimshaw able to get free for the pass from Weaver. Sang across to Pritchard. LA operating out of a vertical stack. Connor trying to find an option. Opts for the inside, and another pick call. You've seen a few pick calls with Astra's vertical stack. Many things getting a little bit clogged, not quite able to generate the space that they need for their cutters to get open, and they reset the stack organization with the pre-stall count.
I think one of the reasons why they're picking, everybody's anxious to get the disc because everybody's feeling it.
And Astra nearly with another break. Low throw. O'Connor, Weaver. That's another LA break. They've hit double digits and lead San Francisco 10-6.
Right now, I'd call a timeout. I mean, my suggestion. I'm not the coach. Coach Dariani's forgets more ultimate than I do, but you want to slow this roller coaster down. I'd take a chill pill and go, okay, let's see if we can recalibrate and slow the momentum. No, they're rolling.
Yeah. And LA's rolling, and O'Connor just able to get that lefty backhand out to Weaver, putting it out into space for Weaver to run onto. And again, talked about it, no Weaver week 1. Weaver coming up big so far. A trio of goals for LA so far halfway through this third quarter.
There's so many intangibles. Well, you just talk about goals and assists. There's an impact and intangibles that players have just by simple presence. Wherewithal, knowing space, knowing teammates, that makes a big difference. It doesn't show up on the ledger.
And if you're San Francisco, that's back-to-back goals you've given up to start the half. Not the way that the Falcons would have wanted to start the third quarter. And really at this point, they just need to hold to steady the nerves, get them back on the track, try and get things going. They're able to maintain possession on the near sideline. Clarkson with the disc. Now up to Saltzman. Ting. Hammer. Falcons moving quickly. And a nice leading pass. Julia Ting. Layout catch for the Falcons. Goal.
Julia Ting. That is your Falcons highlight right now. They needed that. Stop the bleeding. Exciting. Falcons getting the space.
Just a touchy throw from Hammer over the top. Ting able to track it down. See, Hammer quick check for their reset. Sees Ting taking off. Beautiful. And able to get it.
Beautiful. The fans were doing the cheers. They were getting all excited, and the Falcons responded. Beautiful. So let's see what happens. Can they get a stop? Can you get a break? Can you convert?
Julie Ting, a long-time Bay Area Ultimate player. Starting all the way back. Club record goes all the way back per our records to 2013. Most recently having played for women's team San Francisco Nightlock in the past club season. And not too much of a surprising to see her making an impact on the pro field.
So LA gets into the second level. There you go. Okay.
And just like that, it's an opportunity for San Francisco as Thor can't connect with Childress. The question is, can the Falcons take advantage? Harris disc on the near sideline, guarded by Zhang.
Notice that next tier of throws is really tight windows. That's a big under. Nice. There you go.
Loop able to get free. Mankoff underneath. Astra a little loose at the moment. San Francisco taking advantage. Mankoff trying to direct traffic. Wataoka far sideline.
Nice IO. Nice find.
Loop able to do enough. Win. One more. Over the top. Mankoff. That's a Falcons break. Jacqueline Wynn finding Julia Mankoff over the top to bring it to a 2-goal deficit. LA up 10-8.
Falcons getting their swerve on. They found their excitement. They found their mantra. This is exciting. This is great. Really nice response. No timeout needed. You have trust in your team to right the ship. The Falcons responded nicely. Can they find another break? Let's see what happens.
Just like that, it's a timeout taken. You were saying earlier for the Falcons trying to maybe take a timeout after the initial LA goals to start the second half. But now after back-to-back San Francisco goals, it's Astra who want to take time to talk and breathe. Quite the pushback. Game of runs, just like you were saying earlier, Lawrence.
Game of runs, which is nice. It's always nice to say that, and it's nice to see when you can experience it, and it's always nice when the fans are getting this great matchup. The matchups that the athletes are coming out, awesome. It's really exciting to say. And we got a game. Let's see if they can knot it, come in within 1 point, 9-10. I'm being a visionary here. It'll make it even more exciting.
Trying to will it into being, speak it into being from the Falcons press box. Wind starting to pick up a little bit. No surprise, sun's starting to dip below the horizon. So that might cause some issues, some adjustments for the players as the wind starts to shift, as the evening starts to crawl on forward. And Win, the assist thrower on that last point, set to pull for San Francisco. And LA wants to just get a hold, stop the bleeding, just like we were saying about the Falcons not that long ago.
It's interesting looking at the flags on the goalpost. That's a light breeze. Let's see if it's enough to the Falcons to run their junk zone. See if they're going to slow up the LA Astra. Big roller, very advantageous roller.
This did go out of play, so landed inbounds and then went out of bounds. And the Chu O'Connor matchup once again, but 7th field hand block.
Okay.
Hand block for San Francisco. Collision.
They're not going to call it. We got a player down.
Wynn and Childress colliding in the transition. We'll get one more look at the block and just throw right into the hand.
Is that a no contest? Does it go?
Chang. Yeah, looks like a no contest. They'll just send the disc back to Liza Chang, allow players to reset.
Incidental. Interesting is Falcons got in the flow. It was nice for LA. They were able to stop the flow by the Falcons, but Falcons got right back into it.
Chu, low throw, goal! Sam Loop with the spike. And that is back-to-back breaks for San Francisco. It's a 1-point game, 10-9 LA.
We got a game. We have a game here in Oakland, California. The Falcons being the Falcons. Now it's time for LA. LA was feeling really good about themselves. We think we got it figured out. And now it's time to see if they're able to respond.
Vivian Chu and Maggie O'Connor have been matching up all game. And it's largely been O'Connor getting the advantage of Chu, but this time Chu gets one back on the LA star, and it's a sliding knee grab from Sam Loop that secures the break. It's suddenly a 1-point game, and honestly, this is sort of what I was hoping for, what I was maybe not quite expecting the game of run so much as a close game as we're getting late into the game. Just a few minutes left in the third quarter. Falcons players trying to get the crowd hyped up as they search for a third straight break. Harris on the pole. This goes to about half field, and unsurprisingly, O'Connor, Chu, O'Connor, deep. Audrey Brown! Oh, yeah! Audrey Brown, the one throw score for Astra. Oh, my goodness.
If you don't know, you need to know.
Audrey Brown, take a bow.
Wow. Look at that.
Just perfectly weighted from O'Connor and Brown, giving the full effort one more time.
That was stellar. That was stellar.
1-2 scoop for the score. Beautiful. For Audrey Brown, and just like that, it's a LA score. They regain their 2-goal lead. Brown running over to the Stomp Rocket to celebrate for LA.
That was an amazing catch. Amazing athlete demonstrating, hey, go ahead. Leave me alone. See what happens. That was great. That was a design play. Coach said, you know what? We're going to run this. We're going to attack. That was great.
Sometimes that's all it takes when your team doesn't know, when the offense is feeling stagnant. Sometimes you're like, look, we're going to go to this pull play. We know that it works time after time, so might as well try it. And O'Connor and Brown doing it to perfection. San Francisco maybe trying to run a bit of a pull play, pull motion off the bat themselves. Hammer now at the disc near sideline. Tries to go over the top, but it's going to be short. Alverson gets the block. And LA gets to go back the other way. The chance to break.
We're under 2 minutes. Almost a minute 30 left in the third quarter.
LA trying to be patient. Just going to hands to Bio, far sideline. Now Gawa. Astra continuing to operate out of that. Operating out of the vertical stack. Timeout taken. Or not?
Is there a foul? A lot of discussion.
Coaches are...
What's a turn?
Perhaps a
Stall?
stall call?
Yeah, probably it looks like a stall count. Yep.
Stall will give the disc back to San Francisco. So they work from half field, trying to hold Schumacher. Anderson resetting to Ting, middle of the field. Ting,
Good.
low inside throw.
Fine.
Hit called. But this looks like it'll stay with lure, marked by Halverson on the far sideline. About 12 yards out from the San Francisco end zone. Pugh, low throw, able to get there though.
Good find.
Lure, Schumacher, run through block. It's Bile. One of LA's block leaders heading into tonight. Comes up with another one to deny the San Francisco hold. Floaty throw.
Yeah.
Bile tracks it down.
Got 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Astra trying to get something to work, and that something might be Agawa. Deep? No.
They got the look they wanted.
Not able to get there is Agawa, and San Francisco's likely going to try and maintain the possession through the end of the quarter to ensure that the third quarter will either end in a Falcons hold or a turnover.
So the time has run out, but as long as possession's maintained by the Falcons, the point will continue. So there is no rush.
Pugh just able to get to that disc ahead of Martinez.
But you definitely want to run your O.
Hammer disc near sideline. Stall count rises. But Anderson is able to get there to Ting. But just out of reach of Schumacher. And that's an opportunity wasted if you're San Francisco. That's the end of the third quarter. LA leads San Francisco 11-9.
Defense faces.
And we're back from the third quarter break. The San Francisco Falcons trailing LA Astra 9-11. Laughing at some punny jokes being made by some of the hometown entertainment, and hopefully that'll cheer the Falcons up because they're going to need a bit of a run in this fourth quarter to make the comeback. Again, Jenna Weiner joined by Lawrence McCandle. One more quarter of action. Lawrence, Falcons were down by 2 at halftime. Falcons are down by 2 at the end of the third quarter. I ask you the same question that I did then. What are the Falcons looking to do down 2, trying to make that comeback?
First of all, it could have been more. So
it's true.
The Falcons demonstrated that they can generate points. Now what's interesting is what they need to do is, can they generate stops? That's been their MO, that their defense has been strong and been able to generate stops. Now it's their time for the defense to step up and stop LA from going forward. That's a must.
San Francisco, this time, though, able to start on offense to start the final quarter of play. And a hold here to bring the deficit down to just 1 will be crucial. While for LA, a break to start the fourth quarter and make it a 3-goal lead would be real great for Astra. Falcons getting a move on. Clarkson, and this off the hands of Hernandez Flowerman. And there it is. LA with the quick break chance. Low throw just dug out by Brown for Astra. Far sideline, stall count rising. Able to get free. Havranek to Pagella. Back to Pagella. Vranek. Bile. Vranek.
LA's feeling it.
And it's a break. LA with the score. That's Alyssa Abbey. And it's now a 3-goal lead. LA up 12-9.
So we have 11 minutes left in the quarter, and it's clear what needs to happen. You want some clarity from a coach. You've got to be in their ear emotionally, trying to get fired up, and then if there's any nerves, have them calm the nerves and just get into flow. Falcons are not getting into flow. LA is definitely getting into flow. So part of this matchup is you've got to conjure this from a coach's standpoint. You've definitely got to find the magic levers emotionally as well as the lineup to get them going.
And this is sort of what we saw at the start of the third quarter, wasn't it? 2-goal lead initially for LA. They add another one. This time it's a break, though. And, again, the Falcons needing to find a response. We saw them put together a few points in a row in the third quarter. They need to muster up that same kind of energy coming in to the closing stretch of this game. LA wants to keep their foot on the gas. And great floaty pull. Just floats out of bounds from Halverson.
Sun is out of the equation, so it should be... We're definitely under the lights now.
Chu will put the disc into play for San Francisco, this time marked by Martinez. Finds Wong. Loop, near silent. Loop, over the top. Igawa doesn't register the block, but nearly able to.
That was definitely a backhand option on that one, but they took the shot.
Vicky Chen was the intended target for San Francisco. Astra get moving quickly. Near sideline.
They're in space.
Again. Stall count rising. Stall called from Guzman. Contested stall. As play continues downfield. Not sure what communication there's been, as the players are just now realizing from the stadium announcers that there was a stall called.
That's always awkward when the offense looks great, but the stall counts back.
This is Wataoka on the mark against Chipien. Contested stall. Will come back. And I will say, Lawrence, I'm grateful here for the pre-stall. Under other rules, USA Ultimate rules, players would have to attempt to try and find the exact spot they were when the stall was called. Now, players can reset to approximately where they were and then have free movement for the 4 counts of the pre-stall before the disc gets put back into play.
Well, that's a good point about that. Just the benefits. Yeah, not having to find your former place.
Oh, just able to get the throw off his and pick called. Disc should just stay with Brown, though, on the near sideline, marked by Loop. Again, this is another break chance for LA. Converting it would give them a 4-goal margin. Violation called. So again, the players will reset.
Falcons trying to shut down the ace option.
Helm able to get free, but the following throw not able to connect. And San Francisco will try and settle their offense as they look for a key hold opportunity.
Let me tell you, the clock is not the Falcons' friends. They've got to start shooting.
And Pinwin Wong goes deep, but Elias Chang not able to find them. Wong underneath. Vicky Chen. LA giving San Francisco plenty of space. Wataoka just a couple yards out. Loose mark from Brown. And it's easy enough for Wataoka to find Wong. And that is a Falcons hold.
Very good.
Back within 2, down 12-10.
That's one step. Falcons figured it out. Hopefully they'll be a little bit more comfortable getting back to their old ways. That was great. Good find.
Something that we saw a little bit more from LA in the first half on occasion in transition. Losing track of players, getting a little bit discombobulated downfield. That happened again. It almost looked like at times that the Falcons weren't sure who to throw to because players maybe seemed just too wide open. Sometimes that can be a little bit unnerving of, it feels like this player is too open. Maybe there's a player poaching or waiting to get a surprise block, but easy enough for San Francisco after that turnover, able to work it, and Wataoka angling the throw around Brown to Wong for the goal.
What's interesting is a sort of a micro situation when someone's wide open. Is someone poaching? Because a lot of times if someone's wide open, it's very rare. You almost got to look it up because you might be thrown into a poach, into somebody just lurking to D it up.
To your earlier point, clock not really in San Francisco's favor. Yes, there are 7.5 minutes or so left in this game, but they still need to claw back the deficit. And the longer these points go, the longer that Astra can continue to maintain possession, as we see another collision downfield between, looks like Pritchard and Jacqueline Wynn.
And this is running time. I'm surprised they're not stopping on injury. So that's part of the thing why the clock is not their favor. This is running time.
Pre-stall count. Disc in the hands of Childress, just past half field. Weaver, Childress, Weaver. Loose mark initially by Stepanitis, then sets it tighter.
They're trying to lock down Maggie, 12. Maggie O'Connor.
Grimshaw filling back into space, just able to grab the low throw from Weaver. And stagnant from Astra. Coaches imploring LA to find something that's not swinging the disc back and forth. And that something is a throw that seems to just go through the arms of Weaver. But Stepanitis' bid may have contributed to the seeming drop from Weaver.
Those are one of those ones that, okay, was it incidental? What came first? Was it the drop? And yeah. And the foul came after? All right. Here's the question. Was that a dangerous play? Those are one of those things. They let it go. Okay.
Observer ruling no foul, so this will go back to San Francisco. Key break opportunity, sliding grab from Wynn. And just a miscommunication, but somehow in the backfield, but it's a layout block from Weaver, earning one back. This is some incredible back and forth action we're seeing. Both teams making incredible plays.
And so this is strategically, you take your time. Number 12's burning the clock, taking her time.
And It's a goal. Weaver with the block and the goal. That's bookends for Caitlin Weaver on the pass from Maggie O'Connor. And it's an LA Astra score.
Caitlin Weaver is having an amazing game today. Now look, LA, very poised. Very poised. They see, they're feeling that they're imposing their will on the Falcons, and ever so subtle. But the windows are tightened, and the Falcons aren't finding those narrow windows are now even, those big windows earlier are now narrower.
And it's a situation where, again, time is starting to run down, just about 5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. That would have been a crucial break chance for San Francisco. Not able to take advantage. Maggie O'Connor, by my count, 7 assists, Lawrence. 7 assists so far. That is over half of Astra's goals have been thrown by Maggie O'Connor by my count.
Baller's got a ball. So right now, the Falcons have to shoot. They have to find. There you go. You got it. There you go. They got to. They can't linger. You got to shoot, and then hopefully your defense can create the stop.
Lure had Clarkson deep, but not able to make the connection. And Astra playing in a bit of a zone look. Or certainly more poachy, but Schumacher finds Clarkson 20 yards out. Low throw. Too low for Hammer. And it's another Astra break chance. Falcons not quite able to find that final pass into the end zone.
They got the matchup they wanted. They found the space. They just did not make the connection.
And if you're LA, possession, possession, possession. The more that you can contain and maintain a hold, you can wind the time down while not giving the Falcons too many other opportunities. Halverson just able to get there. Puts one up and connects with the intended target. I think that's Helm. Bio break. LA. Astra on a run. Take a 14-10 lead.
The LA fans are traveling up here, and they're being very vocal. And the LA Astra are definitely not disappointing the traveling fans.
Bio working end-to-end for Astra there at the end of the
Yeah,
point.
no, very much so. They're feeling it. They're feeling really lucky, and they're imposing their will. And it's not, if you're the coach, you're stepping back going, we can generate points quick. And this is funny, with a rolling clock league, you got to be able to impose your will at a moment's notice when need be, and they've demonstrated that.
Again, see the over-the-top throw. Anderson in the vicinity of Helm, but not able to get there. And Bio with all the momentum just streaking down the field, not able to be picked up by a Falcons defender. And LA's looking well in control of 4 goals with just under 4 minutes remaining. Falcons going to be starting in a side stack.
Which means they're going to see if they can get people in the space and shoot. They're trying to set people up.
Sure enough, Wong on the reception from Chu up to Eliza Chang. Back to Vivian Chu. Scuber.
Beautiful. Fans appreciate that.
Wong 5 yards out, and Mankoff with the reception. Falcons get a much needed quick hold to bring it back within 3.
I missed the replay on that Scuba because those are exciting to see. We get into the red zone. Nice grab.
Love to see the diversity of throws from Vivian Chu. And it makes it work, getting that little over-the-top throw to Wong, cutting across the front of the offensive cutting area for San Francisco. And Mankoff just getting in front of the LA defenders. And here's the thing, Lawrence, right? This game is not over by any means. We saw in the beginning of this game how quick some of these points can be scored by both teams. And it won't take much. Just a quick early turn from LA and a conversion from San Francisco, and all of a sudden we'd be back within 2. with just over 3 minutes left to play.
You're absolutely right. What's interesting is LA is so poised in their red zone when they get a stop to go coast to coast that, it's still a big task to do, but you're absolutely right. It can definitely happen quick, and they can score. And there you go.
There we
Case
go.
in point.
As called, LA with the first throw turnover. San Francisco just about 20 yards out, able to get it. Score! Stepanitis with the goal. That's a Falcons break. They're back within 2, 14-12.
Nicely executed. That was beautiful. This was nice. We got a game. This is great. 2.5 minutes out, a little bit over 2.5 minutes. It's still a contest. So both teams demonstrating they can score quick. This is exciting ultimate.
Vivian Chu with her second assist of the game on another touchy load throw. Stepanitis able to get to it. And again, not quite as called, but pretty much as called. LA, quick turnover. And if you're San Francisco, you just need to do that again and again. And all of a sudden, they might be right back into it. For LA, though, I don't think you panic. I don't know. If you were in the coach's shoes for Astra, is this panic time? Is this pull out all the superstars? Or are you just trying to continue to play your game because it's gotten you this 2-point lead this late in the game anyway?
LA's played so poised. Just go, look, just play our game. Play our system like Coach Zubair said. And no, I wouldn't be fearful at all. This is the matchup you want to see your team be able to figure out.
And already past half field is Astra. Grimshaw, touch throw. Out of the reach, though, of Pritchard.
It's a
just
good
like
punt.
that, another break chance.
But they can still, the Falcons have to go coast to coast, which is going to burn time. So let's see if they can score quick. But absolutely. So they worked their game. They got their look.
Mankoff with the disc, far side of the field. Working with Wataoka. Throws behind Stepanitis. You can't reel it in. Weaver in the vicinity. LA now with a short field. O'Connor with the disc, far side of the field, marked by Vicky Chen. And it's a foul call.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
It's like contact on the attempted foot block from Vicky Chen on Maggie O'Connor, so disc will stay with O'Connor.
That was big. Let's see the replay.
And it just seemed to miss it. It was Stephanie Pritchard with the drop from LA, and it's an immediate timeout call from San Francisco to try and convert on this break chance. And for Coach Dariani, put on your best offensive players that you know can score quick. Maybe even try and drop a quick set play to try and get this moving and try and reduce it to a 1-goal margin right away.
So there's a couple things here. With the 4-second pre-stall movement, you can get into flow. So the question is, what type of play? What I'm going to predict is they're not going to go where they are. I'm trying to see where the disc is going to be. I think they're going to try to get into flow and go break side, but let's see. Let's see what it depends on where the disc is. I didn't see where the disc is going to be set. If they're on the far side of the field, they're going to try to go get in the flow to go break side. Let's see. Just a prediction, but get into flow. They want to.
It's like the disc is just towards the far sideline. Pugh walking over. It's going to be putting the disc back into play alongside Anderson in the backfield.
I think you definitely want to get into space, and so the handler has some more options. Unless maybe they... Okay, they're going down the field, but they want to definitely... Let's see. They want to get in the flow and shoot.
San Francisco in a horizontal stack, trying to set things up for Hammer and Hernandez-Flowerman in the center of the field. Pew marked by Martinez. Pair of undercuts. Schumacher. Near sideline. Tries to get the reset. Miscommunication, but Pew is able to dig it out. Saltzman comes underneath. San Francisco.
You don't have time. You gotta shoot
Anderson
in the space.
underneath the Schumacher. Over the top, leading throw to Saltzman. Oh, yeah, San Francisco braked. They're within a one. It's 14 to 13.
Wow, Mar Saltzman. Large.
And you love the trust, the connection. Schumacher just floating that disc out in front of Saltzman to track down. Those two connected time and again in week 3 at the Super Bloom Beach Ball and connecting once again in the clutch. We are under a minute to go. Falcons are within one. They need a block, and then they need patience.
You know, one of the things you look at, you sit up here and you're making commentary and you're sort of looking and guessing. What I like from both teams is poise. You know, where I'm adding different things of observing. What I'm seeing is you've got two teams that are very, very poised. And as a coach, that's what you want to see.
And the hometown San Francisco crowd trying to get their team amped up for this critical defensive point. It's going to be exciting to see. Just under a minute. We've seen scores in less time. And again, possession rules apply even in the fourth quarter. So if San Francisco is able to get a block, they will be able to potentially maintain the possession. Harris running down to put the initial mark on O'Connor. O'Connor, floaty. Weaver able to just about get there. Potentially a contact call. Seeing Chu on the mark against Weaver. Brown, far sideline. Under 30 seconds to play. Weaver. Underneath to Grimshaw. Away, and it's a missed throw. Trying to make the connection with Chip Yen. And time, the clock is stopped when the disc goes out of play. So we are under 20 seconds to play. San Francisco must possess it for these next 20 seconds to have any chance of tying this game up and sending us into overtime. Underneath throw, Win, sliding grab, able to get it center of the field. Few more throws from San Francisco. Wong, block! Audrey Brown! And that might just do it. That might just do it. O'Connor. Weaver. Breathes.
That's it.
Takes time. They're still talking, though. Points are able to score. Weaver over the top to O'Connor, and that is game.
Wow.
Just like that.
Wow.
LA Astra take the win, 15 to 13.
What an exciting game. What an exciting game.
Just the snap reaction block from Brown denies the Falcons' last breath chance. Wong tries to find the pass, and Brown just reads the space to deny it. And then the final throw, Weaver connecting with O'Connor. A little bit of discussion if the game just ends there, but over the top. Head spike from Maggie O'Connor. Emphatic from LA. And they get the win back against San Francisco after the week 1 loss.
What an exciting game. What an exciting game. Look, Audrey Brown left her imprint on this game, making big sick layouts, big Ds, big throws. That was a very impressive player as well. Falcons had their chance. They clawed back and had their chance. The climb was a little bit too steep, but
Astra celebrating. Brown getting that pivotal late block to deny the Falcons' last gasp opportunity. Notably, given that this is the last time these two teams will play this season, if it were to come down to tiebreakers at the end of the season, the initial tiebreaker is overall win-loss record, followed by head-to-head record. So these two teams are tied 1-1, having won at each other's home, followed by goal differential between the two teams that is in the Falcons' favor. Were to come down to that third tiebreaker after the 16-10 week 1 win as compared to this 15-13 win. What an incredible game, though, Lawrence, this was.
LA goes on the road, handles their business. And right now, the Falcons, next time we come back, it's going to be a home game when we're both in the booth. Can they handle and take care of home court? Can they take care of the home cooking? That's always a question. You want to be able to do that because they've got passionate fans here. You want to be able to send them home with big smiles.
Falcons will be back here at Fremont High School in Oakland for on April 29th to host the Arizona Sidewinders in their final Southwest Conference action. But that'll do it for us from Oakland, California. It's an LA Astra win over the San Francisco Falcons, 15-13. Thanks for being with us and have a great night.